Did you check it? The tow truck guy smiled. He knew I hadn't checked my truck engine oil in a while. I tried to make an excuse. I was like, no, I was in a rush today. And his next line was gold. He was like, well, you ain't rushing anywhere now, are you? And he was right. When you rush, you lose. But I'd rather learn that lesson with my old truck than with buying a major asset, such as an online business. So, if you want to avoid the 3 common mistakes when buying an online business, please smash the like button and let's dive into this. And by the way, thank you for hitting the like button. It means a lot and I really do appreciate it. In this video, we're going to show you 3 common mistakes that people make when buying a website. But don't worry, we're not just going to leave you hanging. We'll also give you a money-making checklist to make sure you avoid those mistakes so that you don't end up buying a junk website. Rushing the purchase. This should come as no surprise. When we rush things, we get sloppy, like not putting oil in your truck engine. We don't want you to have that same experience when buying a website. Take your time and do your research. You don't want to end up with a website that's as useless as a screen door on a submarine. And don't get fooled by those sites that promise unlimited opportunity, but we'll get to that later. Putting an unrealistic time frame on purchasing your website is a great way to guarantee failure. Unrealistic time frames, they put stress on you and they short circuit your learning. You don't get enough repetitions and learning in so that you can gain experience and insight. Then you get sloppy. You need to give yourself the time. You have to know what to look for and how to analyze the seller's data, not just accepting what the seller claims. The question to ask yourself when looking through websites, or if you're considering buying a website, is, am I rushing this? We all do it. We see an online business, it's in auction, we go, I gotta buy this thing. Sometimes you just gotta slow down because you can be in this emotional frenzy that clouds your judgment. Have you ever rushed into buying something and ended up regretting it? Let us know in the comments below. Focusing on revenue and ignoring expenses. Buying a website just because it makes a lot of money is like marrying someone just because they're physically attractive. You need to look deeper. Why does the website make money? Why did its traffic go up or down? Go deeper. You need to analyze the expenses of a website. Amazingly, a lot of sites out there for sale won't say what their expenses are. Seems obvious, but they don't. You've got to find this out. How much does content cost per month? How much is SEO? Find out. You don't want to end up with a site that's bleeding money. It's like investing in a racehorse without knowing the costs of feeding and training and all the vet bills. You don't want to end up with a lame horse that can't run or that requires more money than it's worth. A tricky thing can be if the seller does a lot of the work himself. For him, it's free, but for you, that could be a real cash expense. Another expense that people often ignore is the time expense of the business. How many hours does the seller spend on the business? Would a new owner have to spend even more hours in order to get the same result? So here's a question to ask yourself when you're considering a website to buy. Am I focusing too much on revenue and ignoring likely expenses for a new owner? To cut out the complexity of due diligence, get our due diligence framework that we have used to help us and our clients make millions and save millions when buying online businesses. This framework takes the guesswork out of buying a business. Check it out in the description below. Ignoring risks and focusing on opportunities. Buying a website without assessing the risks, it's like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. Sure, you might see a pretty view on the way down, but eventually you'll crash and burn. Don't ignore the risks just because the website has potential or opportunity. Opportunity doesn't just make risks go away. The risks are still there. We like to say that opportunity is everywhere, but it's the risks that can wreck you. And some people may ignore risks because they're too enamored with the idea of owning a successful online business. For example, you could say, oh my gosh, look how much revenue this site gets. But how is the traffic? Is it seasonal or is it going down? Could the site be removed from an ad network? Is the seller using link farms to falsely juice up his site? You've got to consider all these risks. So ask yourself, am I ignoring risks and just focusing on opportunities that aren't even realized yet? And that's all for this video. We covered 3 common mistakes people make when buying an online business and how you can avoid those mistakes with the due diligence framework. Get that below in the description. Hey YouTube watcher, what's up? It's William Griffin, and if you've watched this video up until now, please smash that like button. I'm glad you're liking the video, and I also want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're doing very, very well. I also want to ask you, please consider subscribing because my commitment and exploration on YouTube is about to explode. More stories, more polls, more amazing content, and more engagement and delight for you. This is the time to subscribe. I hope you consider it, and I hope I see you on the next video.